Come on in.
Get from the head. What's up? I
Hey,
see
hey,
your
hey.
challenge. Walking in the stable. You know I like to ride. I was like, I'm about to go sit over there because I was about to be riding, riding, riding.
My nurse was tore up. We saw that.
Oh. I was thinking, I was like walking in the stable. You know you gotta ride, ride, ride. Some gotta have faith
Good
that I
morning,
was
baby.
walking in the stable. Hey, Miss Harris.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you? Hold up, y'all. I
Not
gotta.
okay. How are you feeling, Diamond? You good?
I'm feeling fantabulous.
Come on,
I am.
fantabulous period. Cause period. Thank you, gorgeous. I appreciate you.
Welcome in, everyone.
Hi y'all. Hi y'all. How's y'all weekend going? I
It's over.
mean, besides Jay to the Donna living her best life.
Mm,
As you should. Oh, I want to tell you, Jay, that little dress with the sneakers was so cute.
Thank
You look
you.
so cute. I was like, okay, cause period.
Yeah, people like, well, get your sandals. Nope, I got my sneakers.
And do. And do. Hey, so star. Good read. Good morning, Mama Nista. Good morning.
Faith said she couldn't keep up. She fell asleep at 10.
I got my nephew trying to get in the box.
Yeah, Key, you can't get in the box, honey.
Okay, we gotta go live so you can come get in one day on a different day,
On a different day.
on a different
Not,
hour.
yeah, it has to be a
Not
different
this
day.
day.
Mhm. Because I'm
It's
getting ready
not
to
for me.
I'm getting ready to do the podcast, and yeah,
He
that's
said, wow.
mm-hmm.
He's funny. Because how dare you tell me no?
Yeah, 'cause this is the podcast,
I would have
Key.
said why to my mother as a kid. She probably would have told me, because I said so. Duh.
No, that's a hard no for you, little boy.
Well, let me join. Oh, listen, my mama instincts want to kick in.
I know it sound like is you is or is you ain't at this
Is you
point.
is or is you ain't? Come on, how you feeling? Good morning.
Hold up. Give me a second, y'all. Please keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live. If you know somebody who knows somebody.
Mm. How are you, Ree? How you feeling, Mama Nista? How are you feeling? Happy June. Did you get enough sun yesterday? Ree, how are you feeling, Faith? It's been a lifetime.
I know, right?
Faith said I just been moving with Faith these days. I feel you, girl. Me too. Daddy, how you feeling?
We met up with Lamont. That was cool.
I'm feeling rested.
G
God,
Cole beat up
you.
Energy Soul Star. Y'all, I want to top off. I don't know how. I don't know how.
You won?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Those
missed
the
it.
Yeah,
Y'all
so
met
I
up with
already
Lamont.
know, Faith.
I missed it all. What happened? You met up with Lamont and G Code pulled up?
mm-hmm.
And she won at Top Golf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Winner, chicken dinner. I mean, it's also over here. Hey, you should see her face right now. She's like, okay, he's not doing that.
What's the sad
A
face for?
mechanical malfunction is diabolical.
I know Jay was being competitive.
I was not being competitive. Actually, I thought I sucked, right? Like, I looked at the score late. I didn't even know how the score was being kept. And I was like, hold up. How am I even up there as first?
She had
But
the mouth
Energy
up.
won the second game. I just, I still say I beat Depot, but don't tell nobody. Shh.
I'm screaming.
Let's tell everybody. But I hope everybody had an amazing weekend as it comes to a close. It's June 1st. I mean, the weekend, the weekend is coming to an end, but the month is just starting.
So what's our tap goal?
10K. But I mean, as close,
Yeah.
as close. Well, it's whatever we have by 10:15. That's what it
Well,
is.
last
It's
time
not the,
we got up to 30K, so let's try to do 35K.
10K is little.
no, I'm saying 10K to start.
Oh, okay. Because
Or 10:15, whichever comes first. Taptations unite.
Temptations United. Wow. Listen, tap to the beat. Do something. Why are we not at 10K already?
Uh, I mean, I have to,
But
give
you
them
know
a
me, I be telling people like, hey, I'm not paying no doctor bill for your carpal tunnel or your arthritis. You better tap with a toe or five.
oh,
'Cause I'm not doing
put your nose on the screen.
it. Do something, baby. Clear fingers, some. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, better tap with a pinky toe. You got it. Now, if you got gout, then I don't think you should tap with no toes, but just try.
Okay. All right, Key. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Mm, mm. Chat with you later. Appreciate you coming in and tapping for me.
Your mom be so sneaky.
Ah. Riri, how you feeling this morning?
Riri, do you love me?
Oh.
Okay, the mini is gone. He
Man,
was
listen.
so persistent. He said, at this point, let me on. Let me pull up.
Yeah, he possessive over his grandmother, I guess.
And you, cause here, that's your song. Riri, do you love me? Cause why we almost at 10K period. Y'all tapping. Why my fingers hurt? I'm screaming.
Mm.
Faith, just have some faith, okay?
Use your thumb.
Gotta have faith.
Cause you
I,
got
I want to say hello to Mama and Bree and Dottie and Faith again, G-Code again, 31 Boys in the Shack, and of course, Miss
Okay,
Cass Slow. We feeling like I don't be saying hello, so let me say hello.
Oh, I missed the
Taking my
headphones.
accountability.
you did. It was cute. The headphones were cute.
I missed it. Ah. Oh, recent. Thank you.
Oh, let me do something because I don't know how to do it, but I remember how to do it.
I would like to answer the question.
Ooh.
Oh, now you on spotlight, girl.
No, you see, J2, J2 got a little superpowers.
Oh, she put you there or something?
Yeah, my hands is free. I'm over here tapping the screen.
Y'all people.
Timika.
Baby girl. Morning to the third power. Good morning, morning.
Hey. Welcome to 31 Voices, everyone. We are about to get started. I am Diamond Travel, your favorite travel agent and host of 31 Voices. We have Jay to the Donna. And Miss Harris smiles. Good morning
It
to
was the
Nicole.
bubblegum for me. That's your signature. I love it for you. I love it for you.
So let's begin by defining accountability. To me, accountability is taking responsibility of your own actions and the consequences without, what's the word I'm looking for? Shifting blame. So, or making excuses. That's my take on accountability. Um, hey, good morning, Mika.
Oh, good morning, morning, morning. Hey, boo.
Hey, Meg, Meg.
Hey, everybody, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm
I'm good.
good.
Good,
How are
Good
you?
good.
How
morning,
are you
pineapples.
feeling? Good morning, pineapple.
Looking good and looking very nice.
Y'all sing. I'll just do a little dance.
Yeah, they got like a little friendship, like handshake theme song, whatever.
Why she say handshake though? That
You and
came
your
up.
feelings, Jay?
Hmm.
She
Hey,
said, well,
Faith.
I be in them, but I get right back. I'm like,
right, I
and
got
then I
you.
be
She
out.
thought just needed a moment. I got you. Jico, good morning.
Kobe, she got the whole fam up in here. What's up,
I
Faith?
know. Everybody's
Well, we
here.
made it to 10K period.
Yes.
Listen,
Now we
Keep
can get to 20K in a in an hour.
keep on moving. Don't stop.
like the hands of time.
Okay,
You're
so we're
supposed to be
gonna.
singing, Jay.
All
You
right,
the
so
one
let's
that.
let's get into it, y'all. Accountability. What does it mean to you?
They very accountable with telling me I couldn't sing, so I don't
Oh,
sing anymore.
Lord. We still on that?
Mm,
Anyway,
Listen, I'm just
Miss
trying
Harris
I
Cloud
don't
was
think
like,
it's
"Why
Miss
won't
to
you
make
Missy?
it
sing it?"
work.
Ooh.
What happened?
Ooh, la, la, la.
Do
No,
you
I
love
don't
me?
give him
I
nothing no
believe.
more.
Faith, come on, girl. You better sing it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Start all over that, man. I'm sorry.
What does accountability means to you?
Accountability is a space where you allow yourself to consider what's been done. Again, it's depending on the situation, of course. Whether you're making someone feel a certain way or in a space of um, knowing that you're wrong and not living in denial. I think that that's the most important thing. And you may not be wrong, but knowing that you could have misunderstood or you misclarified or whatever the case may be, allowing yourself to take account for everything. Blink, good morning, gorgeous. Account for either misunderstanding, changing perspectives, knowing that you may see something different, and that's okay. I also think it's being in this space of knowing that it's also okay to agree to disagree. I think a lot of those things play hand in hand.
Accountability, y'all. We're gonna get into it.
Well, for me,
I love you.
um, thinking about emotional intelligence and thinking about my own chart this year, but I was too high on the accountability thing, and people be like, "Oh, that's a good thing." It's not really a good thing because
I love you
I
real
take
bad.
the blame for everything.
Good morning.
I'm always like, I'm sorry, or I apologize. I should have did this. Like, even if it's not my fault, I'll be like, this is my
That's
role in
over
it. But
excessive accountability. That's crazy.
yeah, so accountability is just, being taking ownership of your actions, good or bad, and standing 10 toes down on it. And being accountable,
Mm. So
but don't be an over accountability.
I know as women we often take we take on a lot. We caregivers, professionals, friends, partners. Thank you, crypto. Sometimes we overlook how important it is to hold ourselves accountable. So
I
is it
say
up?
my definition, if I may answer,
Mm-hmm.
is and Energy said it in the chat, is taking ownership for your part of whatever exchange happens. So I can only give an example. You know, we have a difference of opinion. Um, I make you feel a certain type of way. That was not my intention. So I hold myself accountable for making you feel that way, even though it was not my intention. You know, it's taking ownership of your actions and the ramifications of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me means a lot more than just saying, oh, I apologize, you felt that way. No, that's not an apology. An apology is, I apologize for making you feel that way. That was not my intention. My intention is to do this. I'm sorry we did not see it the same way. You know, that to me is being accountable. And then I just leave it in the other person's hands after that. I just be like, it is what it is. You accept it or not accept it, it's up to you.
And I think that's another thing because you have to be able to receive the other person's accountability, acceptance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When it comes to communication, I think it's the most complicated math of all times when it comes to communication because everyone sees life differently, and that's understandable. But I think we need to be in a space of being open minded to receiving someone's acceptance of accountability, and knowing that things could and then finding the small changes that did happen. And I think that's another thing. People, and I was telling my I try to like talk to my little sister a lot because she's still learning. We all grew up in trauma, so no one understood the math of communication, whether it's taking accountability or accepting a disagreement and agreeing with that. No one looked at it. No one had the rule book of communicating. But I think we can at least, when you see someone taking a stance of, you know what, that wasn't my intentions, I will do my best, or at least be transparent in the way you're feeling at that moment so you're not allowing it to build up. Because that's another thing. People, you don't know you're making someone feel some way either. Then somebody's lashing out all of a sudden because you didn't take accountability. Well, I didn't know I had to because I didn't know I was wrong in that moment. I think we need to all be in a space of being okay with learning what accountability is because a lot of it, there's thin lines that get crossed based on what's being talked about.
I also feel like along with that is also respecting that other
This
person's
is
boundaries.
bubble gum. I'm not about to play with Jay.
You know
I'm
what I
sorry.
mean?
It's a little
It's like it's also respecting boundaries as well. You know,
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
with
100%.
that's a
that
huge part.
is respect as well.
Good morning, morning,
Hey,
morning.
Energy. Hey, Capricorn Queen. Welcome in, everyone.
No, I totally agree. I think that's people are spending more time saying, no, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. No, not my fault. Well, let's really take ourselves out of it and look at it from the other person's side as well. And I think that's what we need to spend more time with is understanding or simply just listening instead of responding so quickly in a defense mode of understanding both sides. Good morning. Good morning, Boo.
Good point. Good point. So, do y'all think society expectations influence how women perceive accountability?
100%.
I mean, it's been
I
like
don't know. I feel like
it's
I
been
don't.
like
I mean,
a hot topic word for years now. That and other words. It's like with them, I don't know, Jay can probably explain that. What I'm trying to say is like it's always like one of those, the bandwagon words. That's the only way I could say it. It's like, okay, accountability. Then it's triggers.
I was like, I've been having this new word that's been popped in my vocabulary because I don't I have a low vocabulary, but it's like selective logic. It's like when, like we always say communication is key. And then we say boundaries, but when it comes to accountability, and because we are talking to women and it's about women, I feel women lack a lot of accountability for some reason. And I don't understand why, but it's, like I said, I've been thinking it's because of selective logic. Because we all have our different understandings and our different ways, and we're all gonna make ourselves feel better no matter what the situation is. You're gonna tell yourself whatever you need to believe to feel good in that situation. But it's like, are we really taking accountability?
I honestly, and I also think to hopefully I'm not cutting you off, but I agree with you. I also feel like because we carry so much on our shoulders, someone owes us something. I'm just going to keep it real. That's just me personally. That's just how I feel as a woman. I feel like because we put so much on our shoulders, whether it's someone else's problem, our children problem, the job, we are so much in our nurturing state that we feel like we can fix everything. And because of that, then at some point in certain situations, hopefully it's not ruffling anyone's feathers. I just sometimes we feel like, okay, you guys owe us something. We're tired of fighting. We're tired of trying to fix it, but we brought that on ourselves as well. We try to fix something that no one asked us to fix.
Right. I just think that society put unrealistic standards on women, making us feel like we have to
Oh,
be
I agree,
perfect.
Faith.
And in my opinion, this creates like a fear of failure, and it hinders us to be accountable. So how have you guys faced challenges?
It's Mika's face for me.
Huh?
I'm reading Mika's face. She just so I was like, does she got something to say?
Hmm.
Facing challenges, I like to sit with the good and the bad, and that's the sometimes the overthinking, over compensating, but I like to sit with it. I always try to look at my actions first. But I always believe like the choices that you make put you in the positions that you're in. So, no matter what, when I face that challenge, it gives me bandwidth to continue to face more challenges because life is challenging.
For things that aren't our responsibility.
Hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Those thin lines get crossed a lot. Responsibilities versus accountability. Like I feel like either we put things on our own shoulders or other people put things on our shoulders or the expectations that we may have. But I also feel like there's so many lines that get crossed of understanding. We overstand certain things, not realizing we never looked at the definition in the first place. And then let's talk about experiences. Based on our experiences, all of a sudden we become the expert. We become the doctor in whatever that experience may be, which in our actuality we're not. We've experienced it that one time, that at that one moment, but does not mean now all of a sudden I can teach the next. Now I can tell you my experience. I can provide you what I did, but does not mean that all of a sudden my answer is your answer. And I think that's another thing. Depending on the friends we have, the experience we've gone through, some of us decide to say, oh, you know what? I've done it already. So let me tell you how it's supposed to go. Not understanding whatever you've gone through can look different and once I experience it.
Right.
We can go through the same experience at the same time. We can experience something,
Absolutely.
and everyone's perception is going to be different. There's a movie that I've seen, Vantage Point, that explains life so intricately that
I'll be right back.
it's all based on what you're going through in that moment, in that time. Like how you receive stuff, how you hear things, how you relay information. Is all based on what you're going through in that time. And I don't think we allow ourselves grace to grow in those moments in which we're changing. Like we can all have the same type of um for lack of a better word, trauma happen or events happen. But based on how you are, I'm not the same person I was last week. Neither is any of you guys. You know what I mean? Like we're all different. We should all be different. So we may experience something, the same thing we may have experienced last week, and have a totally different approach. Does that mean that we lack accountability for what we are, or are we evolving and the accountability changes? How you view the accountability changes based on your perception. That's just something I want to throw out there. But
No, but do you find it easier to hold others accountable than to hold yourself?
I don't.
Mhm.
I feel like that's hypocritical,
Like, how can I tell somebody else to be accountable about something?
and I can't do it myself.
But people do it all the time.
They do, but it don't make it right.
Uh, That's true. Mm. So, Jay, how does accountability manifest in your personal relationships? Mm.
But they manifest in my personal relationships. Um,
Mhm.
it manifests in, I guess, my actions and my words. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, it seems to always comes up in conversations. I mean, we don't say the word accountability, but it comes up, you know. So, like I said, how I manifest it, like if good or bad, I like to like if I like to just like I like to keep my milestones and keep that. I also like to analyze my low functioning areas as well. So,
Hey, Nene, welcome in.
Mimi, Faith in
hey,
the building. Yeah.
Faith.
Hey, Faith. Hey, Mama.
Woo.
Hey,
Hey,
Mama.
y'all.
Alert me.
I
How
can't
are you?
believe it.
I know this is like a good flashback.
It's a family reunion right here.
Okay, Faith.
Yes.
Faith, girl. How you doing?
This is like if I could pick and
Un
choose. I got to like make a happy place.
and it's
How's the family?
unapologetically
I know.
family.
No toxicity. It's so magical.
Yes.
Love
I
it.
like that for you.
How's the family?
In a calm place, it feels like sunflowers.
I planted sunflowers yesterday.
Period. Yes,
Yes,
I love
it was my
it.
therapy yesterday. I planted a bunch of herbs and seeds and repotted plants and kept my hands and feet in the dirt all day.
Let's
I
go
like
for
that
the
for you.
grounding.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, I was being accountable for my own well-being.
I love it.
Let's give
Like,
this
I
girl
know
some
that's
snaps on that.
I think as women, we're less accountable to ourselves than we are to anybody, because what I was saying in the chat was our accountability gets tied to our responsibilities, which were not necessarily given to us by ourselves. We either learn them from, like, my daddy would shake his tea glass so my mama would fill it. Like, when she died, he didn't
Wow.
know how to check the mail. He didn't know how to buy groceries. He didn't know. I mean, so my whole life, I learned what my responsibilities were and what I was accountable for by watching what was around me. So then for me, it's also tied to self awareness, because now as an adult, I have to decide what's important to me, what I need to be accountable for, how I can be accountable to myself, how I can be self aware and understand what is my responsibility, what is not my responsibility, and let people be accountable for themselves instead of jumping in, because my trauma response is to be a people pleaser. which
Yeah.
means I'm supposed to take accountability for everybody.
Right.
So to be self-aware and try to unlearn this stuff, it's like a whole journey. I don't think any of it exists in one definition, because for me, it's connected to so many different things. As a almost 43-year-old mother of 3, like, I don't know, I'm figuring it out all the time, but my biggest thing is knowing at this point who I need to be for myself, and then allowing other people to be who they need to be for them. My friend who was here with me yesterday, who's another woman, who were both in a struggling place, we sat here all day, and sometimes we talked and sometimes we didn't. And I looked at her at the end of the day and I said, I'm so grateful that we could be in this space together with our hands in the dirt doing this, but not having to be responsible for one another. And when it was time for her to go, I looked at her and she was like, I'm sorry I have to leave. And I said, listen, I'm really in a space in my life where I want people to do what is best for them. Like, I need you to want me to do what's best for me.
Absolutely.
And if we can all do that, then it'll be way easier to exist
I agree.
together.
And to accept
everybody
the,
be okay.
and to accept the accountability.
We're not sitting here pointing fingers. We're not sitting here saying that one less is the other. When there's no competition happening, there's, hey, you go live your best life. I'm living my best life. We check in with one another and say, hey, you good? You still above water? Great. Let's keep it going. Let's live our best life. We can have a margarita if you do that. Whatever the case may be. No, I agree 100%.
Yes, for sure. Mama Nisa, let's hear from you. You're here.
Good morning, man. What a
Good
cast of beautiful.
morning. Oh, is
This
that the
is,
ice?
I feel, number one, I feel so blessed to be here. I absolutely feel high on life to see Faith. And
Y'all are.
yes, and under these circumstances, but I'm very guilty. I've called it the middle child syndrome or whatever, of you just trying to keep the peace and you want everybody to be happy, and but the price you pay for it is, for always apologizing or for just wanting to make everybody happy. And I also worked in a position to where, I managed a doctor's office for so many years, but a lot of people call in and want to complain about these docs, and they want not only an explanation, but they want apologies. And you think I'm going to get that doctor on the phone for you and they're going to apologize all over themselves for treating you in good faith? No. Good faith. Gotta have faith. But but it was so, I would just on their behalf, it would just be on their behalf. I fully apologize for, if you're upset about something, I wouldn't even say it made you upset or that you're upset about something. And, I will make sure that I make the doctor clearly aware of your, whatever it was. But for my family, the whole thing, it's only been in the past couple of years that I've been basically like, you take care of you, I'm going to take care of me. And try to meet in the middle.
So,
But I think some people get that also mixed up with selfish versus selfless. You get what I'm saying? I think there's a thin line between that as well. When people start to feel some type of way, when you're trying to be in a space of, hey, I'm living my best life, you go live yours, and then all of a sudden there's another line twisted where someone gets in their feelings about, oh, you know what, you're changing. It's not me changing at all. It's me being aware of where I'm supposed to be in my life and how that's supposed to look in my life. See, we spend so much time trying to look a certain way or do a certain thing based on someone else's perspective of who we should be. And that's the thing. When we do that, that's where the whole, oh, I'm sorry. I don't owe no apologies to nobody. I'm also learning. And because I'm deciding to be here and you're deciding to stay here, that's when lines get crossed. Let me go here because in my space I'm still trying to grow. I don't know no more than another person. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I'm still learning. I will forever learn. But if I don't forever be in that space and think I'm now the doctor of everything, then that's when we can talk. However, if I'm in a space of saying, you know what, I'm willing to grow, whether you like it or not, you can stay right here. That's on you, boo boo. My train is still going. There's still a conductor that needs to be had in order for me to be the best version of myself. I'm not worried about yesterday, and I'm certainly not worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about my present. How do I feel right now in this moment, and what is that going to look like for me in this moment?
Great point. Great point. So, Ms. Harris, this question is for you. How do you navigate accountability in your professional life?
So I'm gonna kind of take you through a fast journey of how it was in the beginning. I was a people pleaser in the beginning professionally.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you what I mean by that. If you don't know, I am a teacher. I've been teaching for over 10 years now. And I've worked at this current school for 6 years. When I first got on in the position as a fifth grade science teacher, there was always a sorry because I didn't think I was suited for the position. Okay. So there was always, I didn't give myself the space to say, you know what, you have a process you need to go through. This is a new school. I didn't see it that way. I assumed that they saw me as a bad teacher. So I always said, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't do this. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do that. That's how I started the position. Once I started to create a practice for myself and getting to know my students, my classroom became my dome. And I bless you. And I didn't know I owned the classroom until I put myself in a position that these 35 children are looking up to me. So I need to be the best version of myself and not someone creating the best version for me. So once I learned that, I then stopped saying I apologize. I started to say, you know what? I'm very unfamiliar with that practice. Can you go ahead and walk me through? Because once I changed my language and my perspective of how I saw myself as a teacher, then it allowed me to see it differently. Then I got into the role of leadership. I became a teacher in like the middleman between the teachers and the boss man. That's what my current role is. And now when I became the leader, now people are, hey, maybe now I'm in a space of allowing them to hold me accountable to words I may say or actions I may do because my intrusive thoughts do come out. I do let my team know, like, hey, I say whatever is on my mind. So if I say it and it hurts your feelings, just let me know because I'm a Sagittarius. Um, I said sometimes I may say things and they be like, Miss Harris. Oh, you're right. My bad. So I do allow that space now, but it's a more of an authentic space and not me feeling like I'm worse than or I'm not good enough, basically, because that's where the misunderstanding of accountability in my professional world came from. I wasn't good enough. Because I'm not good enough, then I owe them an apology for doing it wrong. But mistakes are important. So that's when I started to teach my students, hey, mistakes are important. So if I spell a word wrong, don't judge me, judge somebody else. Okay?
I know in the past, and at work, I would not hold myself accountable for my mistakes. I would always like, thank you, J2, thank y'all. Um, I would like try not. I won't say anything. Like knowing that I made the mistake, I won't say anything. I just let the mistake be what it is. If somebody found out that I did it, then that's when I will own up to it. But now I'm going to tell you now, taking accountability. I'm going to tell you that I effed up. I did this.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to ask for help fixing it.
Right.
But for a long time, I wouldn't, as far as my professional life was concerned, I would not take accountability. I would just wait until they call me out on it, if they, catch me if you can. But
It's crazy because my really was put more on self pity, like I wasn't good enough. Whenever someone told me that I didn't do it correct, mine went into the mode of I'm not good enough.
which is wild. Like, yeah, I never thought that I wasn't good enough. I just wouldn't own up to my mistakes. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So, and I
And
don't have a problem admitting it. And that's just how I am now. Like, I'm pretty much. I told Mika this. They asked me a question. Did I tell you no lie? Because I'm, whether or not I'm right or wrong, it's just, I'm going to give you my perspective, or I'm going to tell you, you know, what I did wrong, or how I felt wrong about the way I did anything. So, I gotta. This brings me to another question. Faith, Mama needs to J2. Want to hear more from you guys. Um, and Mika, this one is for you also. What role does self-reflection play in accountability? Like because you guys was talking about your self-reflection, what role does it play in accountability? And thank you. Thanks for the headphones. And
So what role what plays?
question is, what role does self-reflection play in accountability? Thank
Big
you.
role because you have to reflect. I mean, you have to reflect to be able to, be accountable. I mean, because I guess that's the problem of the overthinking. We're always reflecting on our actions and then trying to vantage point different actions. Like I don't know, I've watched different crazy shows, but I've been watching this show called Rehearsal, and it's a comedian on HBO, and when people are trying to talk to people, I guess it's kind of hard. So what he does is bring a real interactive stimulation experience where you can rehearse different ways that this interaction will go. And of course, with being accountable, and also, communicating what you need to communicate to someone, where that they role play it, so you can like, lose that fear. Just being honest, because self reflection works good on you, but then when you go speak on it, others may not take it how you take it, and which is not your responsibility on how they take it either. So I think self reflection plays a major role. One, thank God for the gifts.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all gifting the panel, and thank you for the gifts as well. Thank you for helping me get to my live goal.
yes.
Um, Mama Nista, Faith, Mika, self reflection. What role does it play? And I mean, how do you perceive it?
I believe it plays a huge role because, and to me, I'm being 100% transparent. It's so much easier to blame somebody else than to actually take the time to look at yourself internally, your spirit, whatever, and chop it up with your own spirit. And that, hey, this is something that we could potentially, you've got to face some of your own demons, so to speak, and but you also tear down the whole onion, the whole layers of it, as to you want to, of course, make your own life better. At some point you do realize that whether you are a person who doesn't take accountability, puts accountability on everybody else, or you eat all the accountability yourself, you just keep taking it on and taking it on. But I think it's always a hard thing to do. The one, yes, chef, it is faith. Yo, I'm sorry, I'm beside myself, but like, but and I just it is it's painful, but I always hope that everyone's end result is something positive and something that you can glean only those good things from, and that, we learn a life lesson.
Hey, Chef. Yes, that is me.
I was thinking about you the other day. I was wondering if you had come this way to see family anytime recently. Yeah, I agree with you, Mamanista. I think that also it's like it's vulnerability, like being able to really see yourself. I tell my kids that specifically when I mess up with them, like I try to be a bit more of a gentle parent than I was parented. But there's I'm overstimulated. I'm constantly, it's decision fatigue. I tell my kids, like, I can't answer another question. I can't make another decision, right? But then when I lose it sometimes, I go to them and I say, hey, like, I'm sorry that I lost it. I have to be, and I have a daughter who's a people pleaser, and she'll say, Mom, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, Chelly, you didn't make me feel any way. I'm responsible for how I feel. Like, Mom has to be responsible for how Mom feels. Chelly has to be responsible for how Chelly feels. And you have to be responsible for yourself, and I don't need you to be responsible for me. That's not on you. It's only on you to be responsible for you. Like, not me. I have to be responsible for me when I mess up. And how can I ask you to be responsible for you when you mess up if I can't do it? So it's self-reflection. Yeah, it's like being able to, because we're not going to be perfect. The big thing is when you're not perfect, and when you do mess up, can you look at yourself and go, oh shit, I messed up. Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to go talk to somebody? Do I need to fix something? Do I need to clean up a mess? What kind of mess did I make? If I did, how do I clean it up? And then how do I make sure the people around me are okay? And
Can I just
sometimes
give
I
you
made
your
a
flowers, Faith? Can I give you
Do
your
what?
flowers? I need to give you your flowers. I have seen you with your children,
So have
okay?
I.
And I have to say, the way that you parent your kids is so beautiful. And I commend you for, because we've had in-depth conversations, so we know where we come from. And the fact that how you love your children and how they respect you and all of that, I just have to give you your flowers. Like, wow, and I just want you to know that,
I love that my
just
kids have
seeing you,
met
it's
their
just like,
minions.
that's like mom goals, it's just like, wow, she's got the shit figured out. And you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but it's working and you're doing a great job. And I just have to say, I really respect the hell out of you. So,
I appreciate that. Y'all have
yeah.
all poured into my kids in a different way. Chef got to hang out with my kids. My kids didn't want to. My kids didn't want to leave when we saw Diamond. I think, what was it? Chelly was going to stay. I was like, I'm just going to leave you here. She was like, I'll stay. It's fine.
Yeah, we went out to eat, and they was so loving, so respectful, so kind, considerate of each other as well. So, I mean, I know
Those were my kids in public.
But I mean,
yeah,
even at home,
they
you're just
siblings.
like, you talk to them like you give them respect and you speak to them as their equals. You know what I mean? You're just like, look, mom needs a little bit of time right now. And they're like, okay, I'll just come back in about 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's just like a mutual thing. And I just want you to know, look, accountability, you got that shit on lock when it comes to
We're
your
just little
kids.
humans, man. We're
Yeah,
just
you got it on lock when it comes to your kids. So,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Well, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all for being humans that have made me a better person, who have poured into my life and made it a more rich place to live.
Yeah.
You all have a lot of value, and I love you.
Don't be a stranger.
Well,
Yeah, as you can see, as everybody's cheesing, everybody's like, Faith is here.
I'm so excited. This has been like the highlight of my 8 months. I don't know. This is the most exciting thing I've done in 8 months right here.
I'm sorry for interrupting your thought process because I know how hard it is to get back there. I just had to say it, you know. I just had to tell you, like, you got that down pat when it comes to how you are with your kids and holding yourself accountable with them and then holding them accountable for their actions. Like I've got to see you mom, you know what I mean? And it was just like, wow. Like I was just like literally in awe sitting there with you. So yeah.
So Mika, I want you to answer. What does self-reflection play in accountability?
It's
In
the
your
whole thing.
Hmm?
It is accountability. You gotta look at yourself first. Grandma, nobody's here. It's okay. All right? Calm down. It's all good. You don't have to come out. Mary's about to go off. I don't know if y'all heard it or not. Who goes there? I'm like, oh, okay, Grandma. No, self-reflection is accountability to me. You have to look at yourself in the mirror first and hold yourself, you know, responsible. And I got to keep going back to that. Responsible for your actions. Responsible for, you know, it goes back to that Angelo and Maya Angelou. You know, people will they won't remember what you said, they won't remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. And how you make somebody feel and you looking at yourself and self-reflecting on how you made that person feel, that's accountability for me. You know?
Understanding the impact.
Yeah, and how you affected that or how you affected yourself. Because I'll tell you quickly, I am my own worst critic. I hold myself to high standards when it comes to a lot of stuff. And when I make mistakes, I do my best to correct them. I do my best to take ownership of how I've made someone feel in all areas of my life, professional, personal, intimately with my husband, you know, in all areas of my life. I take that as a and I can't, and I'll just put it like this. I can't sit up here and say, I'm going to hold you accountable for something that I won't hold myself accountable for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, that's hypocritical. And I can't exist like that. That's just not how I flow.
So once you figure it out, once you take into accountability, you do self-reflect, you do the understanding the impact, and then you make the necessary changes.
That is the key point, though, right there, is whether or not you change yourself. And that there is the key factor of accountability, is the self-reflection, and then making the necessary adjustments to be a better person, not just for someone else, but also for yourself. Hi, Nerd.
It has to be for yourself because, I mean, if you have values, it has to be for yourself. Those changes have to be made because of your values. So, what happened to Jay? Did I miss something?
No, she was probably moving.
Oh. Good morning, Yoda. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, so I think it's important for you to self-reflect.
There she is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's very important for you to do that and then to make the necessary changes. And if you fail to make those changes, then expect to keep having the same outcomes.
I have a question for Mama Nista, but first, before I ask her the question, I wanted to say, like, Mama Nista always apologizing. For some reason, she just, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. And I always say, stop apologizing. You can't stop apologizing for how you feel. Like in that moment, at that time, that's how you felt. So why are you sorry? So it's like go ahead. But my question for you is, why do you think some women struggle with taking accountability? That's my question for you. So you could change the way, I mean, not change you, but
Yeah.
just you constantly apologizing all the time.
Oh, I know. And
Mhm.
when people bring it to my attention, though, it's I'm like, you know what? You're so right. I really got to work on that. It's I don't, and I'm like I said, I don't know. I do know why I do it. I am, if I even think that I've hurt somebody's feelings or something like that, it's really hard on me. It's really, especially people that I care about. It hurts me. And whether I feel like, their point was valid or not, that doesn't matter. Feelings aren't about points and logic, and, that's more about emotion. That it just crushes me to think that I might have hurt somebody's feeling with some goofy thing that I said straight off the rip, off my melon. And, I just, now I continue to work on it, and I actually thank you for bringing that to my attention. And then other people, I have other siblings. There's a whole bunch of us. My dad was literally the milkman for a long time, and you know what they say about that darn milkman. But I have siblings who will not take responsibility for anything, and it just, it just drives me. Uh, but in a way, I envy them because they don't carry the burden of that responsibility of feeling, oh, Marcy, oh, we might share a little something more than
Do you
maybe
think
some
you carry
DNA.
all of it because they don't carry any of it?
Um, Part of it, I used to like try to get us out of whoopings and stuff. So I would be like, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're so sorry. Papa, we're so sorry. And it could very well be, and I'm sorry, the dogs, of course, are about ready to eat somebody. But so I don't know if maybe they have somebody else is going to do it. Maybe somebody else is going to take responsibility, like me. I don't know.
For whatever it's worth, you are worth just loving yourself, and taking responsibility for yourself, and, not having to worry about the responsibility of everybody else, because you all by yourself are really amazing. So just part of the reflection and, accountability is also like being accountable to ourselves. Like, what do we owe ourselves? Even like people that are, a lot of people are religious, a lot of people aren't, but the whole like love God, love your neighbor as yourself. And that's the part that everybody wants to skip over. It's like, okay, I'm going to love God or I'm going to love people. And then it's like, no, love all those people, like love yourself, because if we're not good to ourselves, then we can't be anything for anybody. So as somebody who loves you, I just want to remind you to just like
Hey,
be good
I
to
love you.
Be easy
And
on yourself.
I'm working. I work on it every day.
You
I
don't
work
need
on
to.
it every day.
You don't need to explain that to us, because guess what? It's not about us. It's about you. That's what we're here to remind you of. Like, it's okay to be okay for yourself, and it's okay to let people be okay for them. And the more comfortable we get with that, like letting people be, like don't tell someone what their truth is. When somebody tells you what their experience is, listen to them. They're telling you, and give grace. I think with accountability needs to be the accompaniment of some grace and empathy, and God help us, maybe some love. Kindness is free. So
It's free.
I know.
Thank you, Faye.
Fear of judgment and society expectations, it prevents us from taking accountability. We're conditioned to be agreeable just to avoid conflict. Comments? I'm just saying, society, it plays a huge part. And like, how can we overcome those type of boundaries? Do we set our own boundaries to avoid that?
I know
Yes.
I just spoke. Faith, you go ahead, please.
No,
You
I
go
just
ahead,
say
darling.
yes, we do, and we support each other. I think for one reason or another, and this is a group of women, but it's also a group of women who, have different experiences. My experiences as a white woman are different than y'all's experiences. You know, the expectations and the stuff that society gives to me, whether it's a privilege or a responsibility, is completely different. So, like, the self awareness comes in where we're able to meet each other, as in this situation, women, and all understand that we're all coming to the table with different responsibilities, different societal standards, different problems, different not problems, and then we meet each other with grace and understanding. We listen and we try to offer support so everybody can be okay, like, and recognize when something is different for you and you don't understand, stop and listen to the person that's telling you what their experience is and try to grow from that. And Mama Nista, I think maybe, that comes into the whole, like, where you want to apologize, you're apologizing for stuff that you did do and that you didn't do. And I get it. But, like, accountability comes in a lot of different factions. I have to be accountable for myself as a person. I have to be accountable for the space that I came from. And I have to be responsible for the group that I represent as a human being, And I think it matters a lot to me, specifically what society says, because I don't think it's okay that different accountabilities are placed on different people, but not everybody's given the same amount of support and grace. So I think as women, what we can do, all I can do, is be a constant, be a listener, be someone who will support and who will show up for you, and who will say, my bad, when I learn, like I have learned over and over again, stuff that I didn't realize. It was like, I did that? Oh my God, let me not do that again. And let me educate my children. That's another thing. What can you do? Create a different generation. It's better. Educate your children. It's possible to make a group, to create a group of people who aren't exposed to the stuff that we're having to unlearn over and over again.
So let me tell you how easy you just made that sound. Okay? Just create a different one. Oh my God, like, why are we even here? Like, that's what it sounded like. But it's so crazy. I always sit back and I'm just like, why don't we just do it a different way? Why are people so pressed about changing the old ways? Why don't we just change our own way? Like, I've spent a lot of time
Making a new way.
unlearning the things that I was taught, because I didn't realize that was for that generation and not how I'm growing up now. And I'm just like, why don't we just change it? So that's why I have to be the person to change it in order to start teaching people to change it as well.
So yeah, I try to foster a good environment here. 31 Voices. This podcast is for women and it's about women and it's about uplifting each other, holding each other accountable. And I want this to be, I want this to be a safe space, not necessarily a safe place, because we know this is social media and it's not always a safe place, but this is for sure a safe space. So know the difference between the two. Understand the difference between the two.
Absolutely.
So that's me taking accountability for protecting you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I absolutely love it.
and Dottie in the chat, because
No, it's definitely a safe space. I think it allows us to be in a place of just sharing our thoughts, Not saying
Mhm.
one thought is better than the other, not feeling like, hey, you're wrong. Hi, friend. You're wrong and I'm right. It's not even about that. It's actually helping us understand our perspectives of how we can actually create a new generation. Going back to tying it up with what
Yes.
Faith said, it's us creating a new generation of understanding. That's it. We're all different women coming from different perspectives, but you know what's so beautiful about it though is that
The diversity.
we're in a space to receive it. And I think that's the most beautiful place to be in is to allowing us to receive it and knowing that we're only going up from here.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So, like you all have been saying, everybody, encourage accountability, especially in our communities and among women. Just continue to encourage it, um, especially for those that you know that are not accepting to accountability. You can show them, or you could tell them another way of seeing things. I try to do it all the time. Like I always try to take a negative and turn it into a positive. I can't help it. It's just in me. I don't know why. Thank you, Nisha. But that's just part of who I am. Mentorship, Faith and her three little ones, Miss Harris and all 35 of hers every day.
Well, actually 120, but we're not going to talk
Okay, but I mean, you guys, y'all are like mentors to the younger generation. My grandkids, Mika, her grandkids. Uh, we all, Jay to the Donna got a college student. She got a
I'm
mentor.
not
Or
gonna hold you. Us women is mentoring other women who still have not been in a place to be exposed to what to unlearn. And I think that's we need to also look at it from that perspective too, because we're sitting here talking in a space of all different experiences. Her last 6 to 8 months, she's like, you know what? At some point, I feel like a sunflower today because I get to breathe just a little bit today. You get what I'm saying? That's why Faith is here. She was able to breathe today and say, you know what? I'm ready to talk to something humble. You know what I mean? To bring something, hey, I can breathe just a little, let my shoulders down just a little. And I think that's what a lot of us look forward to when it comes to coming here. I love coming here. Listen, it's on my calendar. Like it reminds me, like, hey, 31 Voices coming up. I put it on my calendar on purpose because I think it's a great way for us to sit and act like we're all on FaceTime. I don't even know who's listening. There's people in the
yeah,
in the dining room saying, "Hey, how you doing?" But it's
yes,
for us to just sit and actually have a conversation, real questions, and not talking about dating. I feel like everybody and their mama is talking about dating. Ain't nobody got no rule book of what dating's supposed to look like. So, I really think it's real questions, real self understanding. I'm going to say self understanding because that's how I understand it. That's how I perceive it. But also saying, you know what? That's I never looked at it that way, and I think that's what's right. What is even that?
yeah.
So
I feel like nobody's here by mistake
no,
at all.
we were here
Amen.
on purpose. All of
100.
us, absolutely.
So
Hey, Nisha, for you now.
I just want to just take this time and thank each and every one of y'all for being here and supporting 31 Voices. I'm not going to say supporting me. I'm going to say supporting 31 Voices because it's about all of us. I love, love, love the diversity. I love the different age brackets and the different generations, I should say.
Different generations.
um, yes, energy, blessings, her blessings are lessons, and that's what it's about. Thank you, Nova. Um,
I love her. Nova.
thank you, halfway there, guys, halfway there. So I mean, those are my questions. We could just talk it out. Uh, just want to know, what are you guys' thoughts? Not necessarily closing thoughts or anything like that, but just,
Because I have a question. Can I ask it?
oh yeah, free fall now.
Okay, here's my question. You guys ever been around people who don't accept your accountability?
That was one of the questions I had earlier.
Maybe I didn't catch it. I apologize.
No, I want to answer it. When I stop and pause, it's because I try to find the words to help help for understanding. I feel like people try to put. I mean, if you're not accepting my accountability, then the problem is not me. The problem is you. And why are you trying to deflect your beliefs onto me? It's not fair. It's not fair to either one of us because now I'm looking at you differently. I'm looking at you in a negative way. You're not about me. You're not for me. You're not supporting me. And you probably don't even like me.
Facts. That's what I
So
was saying earlier. It's just like once I've said, I take responsibility for something that I've done to someone and how I made them feel. It's up to you to accept it or not accept it. Accept, you know what I mean? I've done my part. How you move going forward, that's all on you. That just tells me how I need to move. And half the time, it just means that they really didn't F with you in the beginning anyway.
Right.
I mean, have a conversation with me. If I'm making you feel some type of way, or my accountability didn't, rub you the wrong way, talk to me about it.
Go on, Johnny Gill.
Rub you the right way.
Right.
But be straight, be forward with me. Don't hold back anything. Like let me take it the way I'm gonna take it. And if I have to self reflect, then allow me to self reflect.
Absolutely.
I always just say we're grown.
Allow
You
me
should be
to
able to talk through
apologize.
anything.
Yeah. Allow me to apologize. Allow me to explain to you the way I thought I seen it, and it may have been wrong. I may have been wrong. Allow me to apologize. Allow me to self reflect. That's all. But that's my answer. Sorry.
See,
But I'm
apologizing for your answer. Wow. That is diabolical.
sorry, but not sorry.
If I haven't seemed fully accountable today, it's only because Faith right here has thrown me off my game. I have been so excited. I've been so excited that she's here. So I am throwing accountability on Gotta Have Faith.
I take it. I'll take it.
Bobby, I'm just saying.
Look, I can
You
respect.
know, I'm so playing with you. You know that's all jokes and love. So
You can't hurt me.
oh baby girl, I would never, and I hope I haven't.
That's my big joke in life. I'm like, you can't hurt me. My kids are like, Mom, did I hurt your family? I'm like,
You're
no,
like,
you didn't. You can't. It's okay. Mom's fine. Like
all
life
right,
got.
baby.
Ooh,
I
that's
know you
the
love
next
me.
topic. I'm just being honest.
All right. Sorry, had to change Alexa.
Just being honest. I'm just being honest. I was going off the comments, Dottie. I wasn't just throwing Outcast out there for the record, okay? Mama needs to expect you to do that.
I do have church in about 10 minutes, so I do have to head out. However, thank you guys again. It's always an honor to be here, be in this space, and be accepted. I always tell people I ain't nobody, but for some reason, y'all always remind me how somebody I am. But I love you, Faith. It was such a pleasure to see your face
So
this
good
morning.
to see your face.
This is so good. I said, okay, with the glasses on. Ain't nobody about to fuck with her today.
Look beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Diamond, it's always a pleasure. I love you real bad. Baby girl, you know we locked in. We locked in. Mama Nista, I love you real bad. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right,
Love
enjoy
you.
Yada,
the
yada,
rest of
yada,
your
yada, 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 yada. See you later.
day. So, Jay, we haven't heard from you in a while. Talk to us. I see you in the background. Oh,
I got my Martin Lawrence ears on.
oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Heard. Oh, Miss Harris, was you trying to come back? Oh, okay, no. What does? I mean,
I
Miss
really have missed y'all. I
missed you
really have.
too.
And it hasn't been for for not wanting to. It has been,
Good
I've been on my,
morning.
with these kids. My husband's been working out of town for 8 months most of the time. So I have been just running like a crazy person. And there's just, with school, it's like from 5 a.m. to, however long. And then I just break. And then I wake up and do it again. And I've been in full on survival mode. So
Mhm.
I just want you to know that I love you all and that I appreciate you and that you're all amazing humans that have really, I will forever be grateful. You're all people I was supposed to meet. There's people in life that you just run across and there's people you were supposed to know and you're all people I was supposed to know. I'm confident of that. So don't want it to go unnoticed or unsaid, how much I love you.
Love you too, Faith, and
You too, Faith.
call me.
I will. I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to a game. I'm coming to a game.
Yeah,
Miami's playing the
been-
Panthers, so I get to see my Dolphins in Charlotte. It's magical.
Oh my God.
Magical.
No.
That's everybody. Everybody comes to the stadium to see the opposing team.
I'm gonna be dressed in enemy gear, but I'm gonna be there.
And I'm gonna find you wherever you are. I'm gonna know
Don't
where
you worry.
are.
I'll send you my seats today. I will find you. Don't worry.
And you love the Steelers too, Faith. Ooh.
It's okay. I'm not anti-Steelers. I'm a Dolphins fan. You can't hurt me.
I'm faithfully a Redskins fan, so I refuse to call them Commanders.
I'm not on nobody's team. I'm just a bandwagon at this point because I don't do none of them.
I appreciate the transparency.
So
She's
actually, I really
taking
came up here
accountability.
because I forgot to tell Jay to the Donna I love her real bad. And Riri, do you love me? Okay, bye. I'm leaving for real. Bye, bye. I love you. Bye, y'all.
See you later. Hey, girl.
Kiki song out of my head, and now it's back in there again.
Val got the hair down, y'all. Y'all see her?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She got them inches in there. Let's go, bundles. Go ahead, sis.
Very pretty.
We said two.
And do, first of all,
So what do y'all think about today's topic? Have anybody learned anything? Do you plan on sharing it? Do you plan on taking accountability for today's topic?
I just saw something that G Code posted here just now. And I did not mean to interrupt you, Dom. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
no, go ahead. There you go.
He says, did I? No wait, I'm gonna get this out. All right. He says he's loving having everybody here. Y'all are just so dope. I just, you do a heart good. You guys are just man, this whole vibe we've got going on, it's just I'm so thankful for it. Really grateful. It does my soul so much good. It's like, there was a question earlier and I got sidetracked, but basically if society played a role in how you, I don't give a rip what society thinks of me or how I say things or word things or how I feel about things. This group right here, this little familia right here, I care about you guys. I mean, it would really crush me if I hurt somebody in this group. And Y'all are just special, beyond special. Thank you.
So Faith, just so you know, because I know you just popped in like, okay, what am I getting myself into type of thing. I do this podcast every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's called 31 Voices Podcast. And we just do different topics every week, and it's for women, and it's about women. It's about uplifting each other, motivating each other, inspiring one another. Sometimes, a couple of episodes we got a little deep and went into some other topics. So feel free to come in and get your little breakaway. You can break away 10 o'clock on Sundays. And yeah, you're more than welcome to join the panel anytime.
I appreciate you being so welcoming and loving as always.
As we conclude today's episode, remember that the accountability is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about owning our actions, learning from our experiences, and striving to be better versions of ourselves. And my last quote, the price of greatness is responsibility. 31. Thank you for coming to 31 Voices.